Do you want to know a secret? To become a super well-paid salesperson, you don't need to be crazy good at sales. Imagine being a sales rep for Alex Hormozi. People don't buy because of the sales rep. They buy because of Hormozi. Most people aren't successful in high-ticket sales because they think that's the main thing. Hate to spoil the party for you, but that's simply not the case. The reason that they're actually not successful is because of the skills I'm about to share with you in this video. So pay close attention, because the last skill I'm going to share with you can make or break your success in this industry and put you in the top 1% of salespeople. So the first thing that you need to learn to get good at is networking. Now you might be thinking, why is networking so important? Well, what networking and personal branding actually allows you to do is to have access to the top offers in the market. A good or a bad offer is the direct example of setting up a lemonade stand on the beach or at the front of your house on a normal street. One customer is starved and out there wanting a solution. However, the other is more out of the way and not as starved, and therefore not as interested in the offer. For myself personally, I was at a point in my sales career where I'd invested up to $40,000 in my own sales training education. And although I practiced a lot and I became good because all the coaches around me, my mentors, told me that I was good, I kept on buying into the lie that I needed more sales training to make more money. But in actual fact, when I looked at other guys who maybe didn't train as hard as myself, who didn't invest in much in themselves, they were earning significantly more than me, and the only key difference was the offer. And I very quickly realized how I got my offers in the past was through my network. It wasn't through job posts, it wasn't through job boards, and it definitely wasn't through Facebook groups. Your network is your net worth, as corny as that may sound. You will only make what your opportunity allows you to. I learned this the hard way. And of course, your sales skill is always important, but what is going to define your success in this industry is the depth and the quantity of your relationships in this industry. And no, I'm not talking about reaching out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry for a job. I mean actually establishing good relationships, making connections, and really being valuable to the marketplace. But like I just mentioned, networking alone will not save you. You have to get good at sales itself. But simply put, I've seen even the worst sales reps I've ever seen in my life make $20,000 a month in commissions just because they were on a good offer. This is the only way that I've found that is possible to find and get these best opportunities in the industry, thus moving you towards the top 1% in the market. Now, the next thing that you can get good at is interviewing. Now, you're probably thinking, interviewing? Really boring, right? I want to get good at sales. I want to get good at interviewing. This is where you'd be sadly mistaken, my friend. Because without learning to do this correctly, this is going to become a massive problem. Even if you're booking 5 to 10 interviews a week, which implementing networking for long enough with the right strategy, you can get to the point of doing. If you can't close a business owner onto why they should work with you, you are cooked. I mean, how many times have you actually gone through that? You get asked the age-old question, what is your experience? And you choke, you're done, finished. If you can't learn to outperform other candidates and showcase your skills in interviews, you are dead in the water. In fact, there was a time where I was working for an 8-figure company and I happened to come across an interview recording that I was not meant to see. The reason I saw it is because they were using a software called Fathom.ai, and for some reason the recording just got slotted in there and it was just publicly available for the rest of the team to see. And a guy who's supposedly meant to be really good at what he does and has got some of the greatest results in the industry for other companies performed the worst I'd ever seen in an interview. Absolutely flopped. So even the best, even the most skilled and experienced sales reps completely cook interviews. So even if you don't have the experience, even if you are not as skilled, you can drastically prepare and research to become the best looking candidate on paper. You want to think of it this way. If you're running a one sales gun for hire sales agency and you're the founder and CEO, it is your job to sell on sales calls for your quote unquote one-man sales agency. I used to lack interviewing skills, and I've seen even the best of the best flop on interviews, as I just mentioned before. And if you don't realize the importance of this skill yet, you'll stay in the broke closer cycle forever. So what you want to do is rethink your strategy. If you're going in with lack of experience, that's fine. Don't play it as an advantage. Work to your strengths and take the interview seriously, because one good opportunity, one good shot, one good interview can put you in the space where you can make 6 figures a year. Now, let's talk about the skill itself. Sales. In combination with everything else, you need this to become a winner. You need to become a savage. You need to become that guy. And to become that guy, you need to train like a madman and you need to work your face off. Sales is one of those rare skills where the better you get, the more money you make. So it's in your best interest to rise to the top and become the best. Collectively over the years, I've spent around $40,000 directly on my sales training education, and that's how seriously you should be taking your learning. Slowly but surely, everyone in the space, in the industry, is going to get better and better and better, and it's going to get more competitive. So you need to focus on what you bring to the table. You need to train well, and you need to practice. It's like going to the gym. Every time you go, you need to increase your lifting record, whether it's through repetition or through weight. You need to be spending at least half an hour each day role-playing and training your skills with a role-play partner. You need to practice your script and know it off by heart. You need to know the questions that you're asking and why you're asking them, because it always comes back to the same quote. Is training something that you did, or is training something that you do? Now, the final skill that you need to know to put yourself in the top 1% of this industry is screening. Even if you can find the opportunity through networking, even if you can pass an interview with flying colors, even if you can sell, you need to be able to screen offers and opportunities to make sure that you can make the money that you want on the opportunity. If you don't, not only are you going to leave this industry worse off than you came into it, you're going to be strongly disheartened and lose out on multi-six figures in opportunity cost. We're talking about what a positive effect on your career a good offer can have. Let's talk about what a bad one can have. If you don't know what to look for in an offer, odds are you're going to end up selecting a bad one. Well, what, for example, can a bad offer look like? Well, first off, cold calling. Right? An offer that is going to make you good money isn't going to be around cold calling, especially in the high ticket sales industry. If they're asking you to do any cold outbound messaging, right? Messaging people from your profile in different Facebook groups, it's not going to work. They want you to generate your own leads through cold prospecting and cold emailing, cold calling, like I mentioned, and cold messaging. It's definitely going to be no bueno. And I'm not talking about generating leads via outbound dials. That's obviously very normal and expected, and you should be doing that. But if you're being asked to generate your own leads, it's definitely not going to be an ideal scenario. You need to also make sure that the offer has a big pain and problem that they're solving, and there's enough people to solve for it. If the problem isn't painful enough, people just won't buy. Or maybe the company just hasn't been around long enough to, put simply, have enough infrastructure and enough proven systems to allow you to make the money that you want. And then the final two is the marketing is bad, or there's not good quality marketing, or there's not enough marketing, and or the founder sucks, they're not good to work with, they don't have good values, and you just simply don't enjoy working with them. So those are a few things that you can look for from my experience, but what's going to represent a bad offer and a good offer is going to be unique, and it's going to be personal to you. And it's not just the short-term money that you're not making either, it's actually the opportunity cost that you are losing out on by working on bad offers. Because what if you were on an offer that could make you 10K a month? On top of that, there's the time that you've lost as well, which you cannot get back. You can always make more money, but you can't get back more time. And I know which resource I value the most. And that is how you can work your way to becoming the top 1% in the industry. If you want to shortcut the time that it takes to do that, and you want to lean on someone with 5 years experience, there's a link below in the description where you can click apply and book in a call to speak to me and my team. On that call, we're going to talk about whether or not you may or may not be a fit for my RSA Mastermind, where we help guys just like you every single day, week, month, outperform everybody else in the industry from a sales skills perspective, from a job perspective, from an experience perspective, and a general guidance. Because like I mentioned earlier, time is the only thing that you cannot get back. You can always get more money, but you cannot get more time. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.